to determine who will be our champion this year. Let's get set. Oh, the completion is hitting the start button first. Obviously, you get that 3-second head start, so that's great right there by Abdallah, honoring that. And of course, there's going to be lava here, 9.
Of course, there's going to be lava, and this was the one that we hadn't seen yet. We're taking it back all the way to the classic there, and neither one of them clearing it so far. A little stumble there at the start, but of course, lava. I wonder who we're going to see at the end of this.
The completion is able to stay alive and dance around the icicle, trying to get some momentum, waits for that lava to fall. We get to the next section here. Abdallah slightly ahead, grabs the swinging crane, but oh, we've got a big boom boom floating down right now, 9.
Look at how quickly Abdallah went across that, and the speed being too much. The completion is taking the more cautious route, meets the same fate. They're going to start again. I'm starting to think those 3 seconds may not matter too much.
And Bish, this is where rinse repeat becomes very important, because you're going to get back to the same part that you stumbled against. How quickly can you get back to that same area?
Definitely. I think it's going to be like a huge learning process as they traverse this level, right? And that 3 seconds allowed him to get maybe one extra try. And Abdallah's already.
Oh, no!
The
pump fake by the Spike. The Spike said in the kind words of Dikembe Mutombo, no.
Oh, man.
But, you know, we talked earlier about how lots of different elements of a level. We saw earlier a shell hitting the on-off block. This time it's a spike. You've got to be aware of everything. And even though Abdallah had made it further than the completionist, they start at the same area.
Abdallah jumping just a little bit too high and catches his cap on the icicle. Meanwhile, the completionist is taking a nice little Sunday cruise, and he sees the trap ahead. Oh, but he jumps too early, and he falls into the lava. Abdallah with the chance to take the lead. He's got to navigate, but he falls to the same fate as earlier, and already this lava castle is causing a lot of issues for both our runners here, 9.
And now both of them know the trick to this, right? They've both been fooled by the same things a couple of times. This is really rinse and repeat, repetition, maybe little refinements here, but at this point, it's really just about making sure you execute the plan you already know.
And Vish, what's very difficult is you want to execute, but you know right on the other side, there's somebody competing right against you, and you've got to put the pedal to the metal.
Yeah, I mean, you want to like take your time just a little bit, but at the same time, you got to go as fast as you can. And completion is finally able to get all the red points. Will he go to the next portion? Gets the key, and he's there. But what is waiting for him on the other side of that door?
Uh-oh, a seesaw.
Oh my God, he just does it! He does that right away!
The castle and reaches the first checkpoint. Here comes another interesting part. Has the icicles falling, staying on the moving platform, but
Thank goodness for checkpoints.
And all of our excitement, Abdallah moving forward, and he's tiptoeing on this moving platform, but he falls to the same fate as well, too. And this is tricky here, 9, because those icicles are falling faster than the platform's moving.
Right, and I think Abdallah has already done it. You saw that he is starting much further back on the platform and just inching his way to the right, staying clear of them just a few more feet, and gets to the next portion, but what waits?
Just like getting candy in the middle of the night, you have to tiptoe down the hallway. Abdallah moving his way up the spikes to some more swinging cranes. Tries to go underneath the icicle here, and this is where that risk reward and speed factor comes in here, Fish.
Right. With the swinging crane, you can use the momentum to start the fall of the icicle, and then from there, able to get to the next swinging crane. So using all the physics of these new features in Mario Maker 2, and using the physics there to be able to jump on the opposite way from the swinging crane. I like that.
And don't forget, slopes just don't go downhill. If you're an optimist, they go up as well too, 9. And here comes an interesting part with some binds, and Abdallah being like Tarzan, just being very careful swinging bind to bind.
This is interesting. I think Abdallah's been the more aggressive of the two players, but here saying, all right, let's just get across this. If I fall, I have a long way back up. As the completionist says, hey, wait a minute, I'm climbing this mountain too.
And Abdallah also saying one hazard he doesn't like, the solo spikes from the original Super Mario Brothers. You see it right there as those watermelon-looking bouncers making this climb to the summit just a little bit tougher. But Abdallah navigating that section. Now he has a slope with some springs here, Fish.
And they all mentioned how much they dislike springs. There's a lot of springs in this portion, and you fall all the way down if you end up messing up this portion here of the swing claw. This is very tricky. I think this is where risk reward really comes into play, because you don't want to fall all the way down and have to redo this entire course.
Completion is not too far behind, using those swinging cranes to make his way up the mountain. Abdallah trying to figure out the seesaw with the twister. A lot of components here, and once again, you have to be familiar with the mechanics of these hazards here, 9.
And you see right there, just not enough height to get up there. Gonna try it again. Abdallah knows what he needs to do here. He needs to manipulate where that twist Twister is and lower him on the seesaw. And meanwhile, on the other side, the completion is never far behind.
He's on the vine portion as well, too, so we know he's hot on the heels of Abdallah. Abdallah just playing on the playground right now with the seesaw and the Twister, trying to figure out, how do I get him to that bridge? Another puzzle-solving component here, Fish.
Yeah, and I think he's finally figured it out where he got him all the way to the tippy top of that seesaw, and now he will make his way to the next portion of the support pipe. But Completionist, not too far behind if he can figure out how to do these swing claws really quickly.
Checkpoint reached by Abdallah. You see some more rising lava. A lot of Goombas trying to crowd the club. Oh, there he is. There's Bowser, but it looks like Bowser has updated his home security system. A couple more obstacles to try and take down King Koopa.
And this really is the puzzle here. Can they figure out the quickest and most efficient way? You see some spikes on top here. Gonna swing over there, and you look, Abdallah is taking his time right now and jumps a little too high. Earlier, you wanted to jump as high as you could on the crane. Not so much in this portion.
Have to watch your head, but you see the on-off switch will block the Goombas from coming out of the pipes. You have to navigate the huge fire breath coming in from Bowser. And this is where it gets tricky here, because you saw those 3 icicles, and we always know 3 is the magic number here, Fish.
Right. I wonder how many icicles it'll take to get this Bowser. Okay, the third one goes, and then he thought it was going to be 3 as well. That's why he fell on top of him.
You thought it was going to take 3. The completionist, though, getting ready to go down the chimney, and boy, does he have some gifts for Bowser.
Bowser's been working out. It takes more than 3 now. What's going on?
Bowser hitting the gym, eating some protein, getting some greens in his system. Completionist, he's on the swinging crane. He's going to take a stab at Bowser. It takes 3, right? No.
Little did you know. Oh man, but these icicles are a very interesting way to be able to hurt Bowser in this level. So that swinging claw, I think, is going to be very useful in how they are able to do even more than just the 3 icicles.
9, rinse and repeat as always. You know how to get on top of Bowser, but now you have to be very careful. Is it going to be 3? No, but those saws, that's not the type of back massage you want right there. No. Bowser claiming the completionist. Abdallah trying to navigate things. He's already gotten a couple of icicles on Bowser. That's only 3, though. How many more does he need? 2 more going down. That's 6. That's got to do. No! It takes more than that, 9.
What? Oh, man, the completion is doing the same. Abdallah has his method here. Can he get over? Barely clears it, and that Goomba almost ending the run. That's 9 icicles. That's still not enough.
Let's see if it'll do with 3 more. Abdallah.
12.
Unbelievable. Bowser hitting the gym just like you, 9.
What's going on? How is it 12 hits is not enough for Bowser? Where has he been this whole time? He's been training.
The fire keeps coming. Bowser does not want to jam it. Oh, Abdallah knocks out Bowser. Now he just has to navigate the swinging crane. A couple more icicles. Watch out for the saws. And Abdallah gets the axe. Knocks out Bowser. And that will do it as Abdallah is victorious. And he is your Super Mario Maker 2 Invitational 2019 Grand Champion.
Oh my goodness. What a crazy last level there. The way you take out